This is John from the University Skills Academy, and in this session we are going to look at the brought forward system. So let's look at the brought forward system. Every day we should plan the next day, either at the end of the last day, so just before you knock off you figure out what you're going to do tomorrow, for that day. Now, with the weekly planner that we've looked at, if you've got certain things that have to happen this week, what you should do is make them an A grade priority, and then stuff that doesn't, that's important but not absolutely critical or urgent, make that a B. And if there's other stuff that if it doesn't happen it doesn't matter, make that a C grade item. And then as you work through the week and the A grade items get crossed off the list, the B grade items get elevated to an A grade priority, and this continues down the chain. The C grade items become a B grade item, and then new things get introduced, and this is an ongoing flow from week to week. So if you get to the end of the week and there's stuff that hasn't happened yet and it needs to in the following week, you transcribe that into the following weekly planner. Fairly simple, but this is how you don't miss stuff. Stuff that slips through the cracks ends up being a problem, and this is how we avoid those problems. The only thing you would really need to do once you've got this system in place is to set aside your 15 minutes a day, plan the day that you're about to launch into the night before. Goal setting, long-term planning. You should know when all of your assignments are due. You should know when all of your mid-semester exams are due, for those subjects that have them. Typically, IT classes might have 2 or 3 major assignments or 2 assignments and a test equally spaced throughout the semester. Sciences tend to have stuff 6 weeks in from the first day of semester. Ditto economics, they'll have a short test. Law, the same. Biology in particular, they want you to have your plant lists learnt or your insects lists learnt or your anatomy lists learnt 6 weeks into the semester, so they can actually talk to you as a professional about these sorts of things. So for every major assignment and for every test, normal university work needs a solid 2 weeks worth of preparation for each one of these. So you should be able to write an assignment in 2 weeks, having done all the research and answered the question. Ditto, you should be able to commit those short things to memory within 2 weeks. So the brought forward system operates whereby you prioritize your items on your to-do list as an A grade or a B grade or a C grade priority, and as the A grade priorities are completed, the B grades become an A grade priority and the C grade priorities become B grade priorities, and then you can place new C grades onto the bottom of the list, or you can actually add other items into the B grade or the C grade items as required. For this to work in your studying system, you need to know all of your expected work for the semester for each subject. So items like when assignments are due, when mid-semester tests are due, these sorts of things, you need to allow 2 weeks worth of preparation for these types of commitments, and then prioritize accordingly to the time that you have left and allocate it with your time against the value of those items. So in our next session we're going to look at anti-procrastination techniques and how procrastination works. This has been John from the University Skills Academy. I look forward to seeing you in the next session.